Our visit to Phuket Aquarium started with a bit of confusion. Google Maps didn't exactly make it clear where the entrance was, and we found ourselves wandering around Central Phuket Mall, expecting a grand aquarium entrance. Instead, we realized that the entire aquarium is actually underneath the shopping center. Or maybe it's the mall that was built on top of the aquarium. Either way, it was an unexpected discovery that set the tone for the day. Once we finally made our way inside, we got lucky. We arrived just in time for the penguin feeding session. Watching them waddle around and eagerly wait for their fish was an absolute treat. There was also a Christmas-themed show display, which felt oddly out of place in an aquarium, but was still amusing to see. Phuket Aquaria is the largest aquarium in Thailand, boasting an impressive variety of marine life. The layout is designed to take visitors on a journey from freshwater ecosystem to deep-sea habitats, showcasing species from all over the world. You may see massive freshwater stingrays gliding gracefully through the tanks, vibrant clownfish and angelfish darting through colorful coral, an enormous glass tunnel where sharks and rays swam overhead, creating an almost surreal experience. But despite these impressive displays, I had mixed feelings about some of the land animals kept at the aquarium. A world-class facility that cared for all its creatures equally was an expectation that I had coming to a place I would expect conservation from. However, the reality was, looking at creatures like the meerkats, who were particularly heartbreaking to watch. These animals are natural diggers, yet their enclosure had no real sand, just a hard surface they were desperately trying to burrow into. It was painful to see them scratching at the ground, unable to fulfill one of their most basic instincts. Similarly, the birds were kept in small enclosures, and I couldn't help but feel that they deserved more space to move around. While the aquatic animals seemed well cared for, I can only hope that the land animals are confined to these cages for the rest of their lives. Once we exited the aquarium, after having a quick look at the souvenir section, we decided to explore the mall. And boy howdy, is it bloody massive, eh? Coming from New Zealand, where shopping malls are fairly standard, this place felt like a small city. Central Phuket is actually made up of two giant malls, connected by a sky bridge, making it one of the largest shopping complexes in Thailand. We wandered through the different sections, each offering a mix of high-end luxury brands, local boutiques, and tech stores. Expectation? Just another shopping mall. Reality? It was an experience in itself, almost like an attraction more than just a place to shop. Something to note is that you really won't be seeing a lot of Thai people here. Maybe that was just me, but I found it to be mostly populated with tourists, and I think that's what you should be expecting as you go in. It's not really for the locals. One of the highlights for me was the DJI experience store. I've been wanting to test out the DJI Pocket 3 for a while, and this was my chance to finally try it out in person. For anyone into cameras and filming gear, being able to hold and test their gear before buying makes quite a big difference, and this may have convinced me to buy one a little bit down the line. However, not all surprises were pleasant. We stumbled upon a section that seemed to be an unregulated animal market of sorts. The conditions were poor, and seeing these animals caged up made me feel quite literally sick, physically sick. It was a stark contrast to the luxury and modernity of the rest of the mall, and we quickly decided to move on. After all the walking, we decided it was time for a break and grab lunch at a pizza place inside the mall. On paper, it seemed like a good choice, plenty of unique options that you'd never find in New Zealand, like sausage and cheese stuffed crusts. It was a little overwhelming, but also exciting to see such an over-the-top take on pizza. We were honestly expecting this pizza to be at least pretty decent, given it was actually an expensive meal for Thailand. However, the crusts had that unmistakable frozen pizza texture, and the toppings, while interesting, didn't quite make up for the lack of freshness. The pizza pockets though, however, was a pleasant surprise. Crispy on the outside, cheesy and flavorful on the inside. Looking back, we probably should have just stuck with the food court in the basement, where the options were not only cheaper but also likely way tastier. I suppose lesson learned, we do go back there pretty soon. Before leaving, we took a quick walk through the electronics section, and it turned out to be a lifesaver for us a couple of days down the line, as one of my friends will ruin her phone after getting it drenched in the rain, and we realized that the mall had an official Apple retailer. Since we ended up coming back a few days later to make the purchase anyway, and I too may have walked out with a Pocket 3 in my pocket. And boy, the customer service was so good. Anyway, Phuket Aquarium was an interesting experience, a mix of awe-inspiring marine exhibits and disappointing enclosures for land animals. While I loved seeing the fish and the sharks, I left feeling a bit uneasy about how some of the animals were being kept. As for the mall, it was beyond impressive. Between the sky bridge, endless food options and tech stores, it's a place where you could easily spend an entire day even just window shopping, even if you're not interested in shopping for clothes, like I'm not. Though there is a Uniqlo there, so, you know, if you need good cheap clothes, kinda hard to beat. Would I recommend a similar itinerary for anybody else? For the aquarium, if you love marine animals and haven't been to a big aquarium before, yeah, it's worth a visit. Even if it's just for those freshwater stingrays. But I will be prepared for some mixed emotions about animal treatment. And the mall? Absolutely, even if it's just to walk about. I actually kinda enjoyed my time here, and I don't like malls. At the end of the day, this day was full of surprises, some good, some disturbing or disappointing, I guess. But this is all part of an adventure, isn't it? And ain't that what travel is all about? I hope you enjoyed this story, and leave me a comment, leave me a like, subscribe, etc. Take care.